Do you have a 3UZ powered vehicle? We can reflash it, and I often get asked what happens in the reflash. Well, you get more power, better throttle response, better transmission response. We can remove the sub oxygen sensor monitors, so the emission monitors. If it's supercharged, we can remove the ACIS function. We can remove the immobilizer if required. We can remove the whole transmission and make it manual if you're doing a swap. And if you want more information, watch the rest of the video. G'day guys, it's Calvin from the Cartoon Company in New Zealand. Today I'm going to talk about 3UZ ECU reflashes, because I have a lot of guys that ask me what they should expect from an ECU reflash. And I will discuss this more when I pop one into my own car. So I'm going to double up a little bit. And I've got a few other things to talk about as well, which is kind of exciting for me today. But with the reflashes, primarily what we're able to do is extract some power that Toyota left on the table. The LS430 are tuned in a very, very conservative manner. So what we can do is we can bump up some timing tables, some target tables. We can adjust the throttle control. A lot of people complain about the lag. And this gives it overall more power. In the mid-range, in the torque area, you're going to see some good gains in that torque zones. And then we're going to couple that with some tuning of the transmission. One way to explain it is, you know how you've got the power economy mode now? Well, imagine you can have the power mode, but have the economy mode, or the economy of the economy mode, but the power of the power mode. That's kind of like the tune's like. And then there's when you push the power mode after it's been reflashed or retuned, you're going to have a heap more. Some of the feel of more power does come from the fact that the transmission has been optimized better. And the tuning techniques, of course, these ECUs are now early 2000s. The tuning techniques that are available now, when we apply them to these older ECUs, we're able to get gains. Speed cut. See you later, speed cut, we don't want that. We generally raise the rev limiter. And then we can do some stuff such as your CAT monitors, the monitoring system for the emissions. You do have to be careful for you guys in the USA. We do have an associate in the USA, Brandon at Quantum Auto. He is doing them as well, so he takes care of a lot of the USA ones. We've got Chris in the UK. There is Yuri, of course, in Russia. And we have a representative in South Africa as well. Now this tuning or reflashing of the ECUs can be done when we slip into the 3UZ range. When the ECUs sort of change bodies. So if we've got an ECU, let me get one here. It looks like this. There's a good chance that it can't be reflashed. That is a 171 Crown. They actually ran right into the mid-2000s, non-reflashable. This is this is also a Crown. It's 186 Crown, like a 2003. But if the ECU kind of looks like this body, this styling of body, there's a good chance that it can be reflashed. And it goes for the GR series engines, 1GR, 2GR. It goes for the LS, GS430s, SC430s, and the 2JZ variants of cars that have the ECU that looks like that as well. And then of course into the later, the 1UR, 2R engines, they can be done as well. Some of the questions that we get asked. Do we need the ECU? Yes, we need the ECU. we are unable to plug in our laptop and our dongle. Let's call it an adapter, because people freak out when I say dongle. The adapter into the ECU if the ECU isn't present with us. I have a little test bed, relays and fuses. There's some fuses, switch on and off, check light, and then plug into the ECU with some grounds onto a battery, and then my adapter and the laptop. Every ECU that I get, I pop some IDs on it, and then I power it up and I'll complete the tuning of that ECU. Now, another thing that I'm often asked about, and I've been working on for a while, is a good adapter, Bluetooth adapter, to get in and read the 3UZ CAN-based communication protocol ECUs from around about 2003. Well, I've done that today. We're going to have a very quick look at it. I'll do a proper video another time, but I got a OBD Link LX, known as one of the fastest, or promoted as one of the fastest Bluetooth dongles. It looks like this. That is a 6-speed, no screws, so that is CAN bus. And I'm using the actual OBD Link, that one, app. That's what I was looking for. Go on a dashboard. It's got no information, but it's got 12.6 on the battery. I've got everything turned off. As you can see, there's no car attached, so it's going to have some fault codes and not going to have the information. But if I go out of here and I go to diagnostics, yes, it does bring me up codes like that. And I can clear the codes and they'll all come back. So I have got communication with that 3UZ 6AT, so the 6-speed transmission ECU, with my phone on a Bluetooth dongle. I tried that dongle with the Talk app. It didn't work. So I went to the OBD Link website, or the App Store, and I downloaded the software, and voila, I'm in. Right, I'm going to do some flashing now. It's really too cold to be flashing in a trench coat. So I'm going to get in, I'm going to start with a 6-speed, and then I'm going to do another 6-speed. I'm going to come back and chat about a 5-speed one that's been supercharged. So the vehicle's supercharged, just to tell you a little bit more about the other options we do have with regard to what you get when you flash these ECUs. Okay, what am I doing with this one? It's going in a 2-wheel drive Hilux, so it's getting a swap. It's a conversion. It's staying auto, so we're going to run all the auto stuff in this with immobilizer off. We can take the immobilizer off, which is one of the reasons we got into doing this sort of stuff. So immobilizer is gone. I call it a full send tune, so it gets all that normal power delivery stuff, throttle response. Monitors will go, the cat monitors will go, the rear oxygen sensors, sub-oxygen sensors gone, we don't want them. But it gets the transmission and the engine tuning. Well, we got this one. And it's from a mate of mine. Been repaired in the USA. What do we got? We got our code on it. And this one's going for a full send manual. So this one, full send, that's the normal tune that we do, or the most popular one. The immobilizer will be removed, and so all the transmission stuff, all of it's gone. See you later, transmission. We're not going to use you anymore because it's going to run manual. So there's another feature that we can do when we do these reflashes. Right, I've got a couple more to do. Well, let's keep going. Righto, this one, manual Hilux. And you look at the body of this one, there's actually a bit of corrosion around here. I ran the buffer along this bit, there's a bit of corrosion. There's a little bit of darkness in by those pins. I'll be cleaning that. This one's a manual going in a 4-wheel drive Hilux. Even though the outside of the case is a bit scruffy, the inside is spotless, absolutely spotless. And these ECUs are a little bit prone to getting water in them if the box isn't secured. By comparison, this particular ECU, the casing is beautiful, but inside it's a bit scruffy. So I always open these up and have a bit of a look and give some guidance, because I've seen them with a tide mark in the box and you can't always tell from the outside. As I said, this one looks scruffy on the outside, but it's lovely on the inside. That one looks lovely on the outside, but it's not so good on the inside. Just the way it is. People are like that too. Righto, I'm on to the 5-speed ECUs. This is from James. And look, he's written me a lovely little list. Look at this. Sub-auction sensor delete, emo delete, better throttle response, better transmission shift, more power, make the dash work for the Altezza. He tells me it's an Altezza staying auto. Awesome stuff, awesome, absolutely cool, really easy. I also got the OBD Link LX, and it is communicating with my phone. It's a 5-speed ECU, that's working. This little cheap thing was not working with the 6-speeder, will not work. Let's see if it works on a 5. Okay, we've swapped to the China Special. And what have I got happening? Communication. So that one is working with the 5-speeder. Easy. James's one is almost shiny inside. Look how beautiful that is. And all the caps. There's quite a lot of them. Okay, another one. Now this one is from the United States. It's clean and tidy inside. I've got the list of what I want to have done, but I don't know whether it's an auto or manual. It's in a Jaguar, so I think it's going to be an auto. 3 years in an auto would be in a Jag, it'd be nice. So I've just sent the person an email asking about that, and they've given me a nice note, a nice list of things to do. Oh, I've got the next one. What are we doing on the next one? Yeah, it's getting late, but I do a lot of the stuff because there's no interruptions and no phone calls. I'm on the last one, and oh well, one I haven't done because I don't know whether it's auto or manual. The last one, it's supercharged. Richard over in Australia, a bit of an interesting character. I tried hassling him about being an Australian, and it turns out he's a Kiwi living in Australia, so that backfired on me. But he has a 2002 LS430 in Australia that is supercharged. It's had an M112 put on it. He's actually sent me a piece of paper which is actually off one of my associates' websites. I still don't feel like I'm stealing his job, because we're all mates at the end of the day. And every time I do a video and it gets watched in the USA or released in the USA, he manages to do more reflashes than I do. I feel like his marketing department. But anyway, I do thank all the people that send me their ECUs. Richard would like a little bit more a power, of course, and he doesn't want it swapped to manual because he's still running the auto. A little bit more rev limit. We're going to get rid of the speed limit. He wasn't going to get rid of the immobilizer, but we're going to get rid of the immobilizer. And there's that flappy thing in the back of the intake manifold, the ACIS, which I just fixed on my own car, and it made it go heaps better. But with a supercharger you don't run it, because the supercharger made you go way better than ACIS. And the rain is getting heavier and it's very cold here, and my hands are hardly working. So I'm going to do this one. Now, he also wanted, a little loom for the knock sensors. So he's going to get one of those, but I'm going to take that grey plug off and I'm going to put factory terminals on it, so he can insert it into the factory plug, which just looks like this. They fall apart. And then I'm going to send him some knock sensors for a 3UZ, and he wanted the ECU rebuilt, so we did that as well. Looking just lovely in there. Some extra codes on it. Nice and dry and clean. It's a lovely ECU. So it's bagged some info on that. And I'm actually going to test this one in my own car. Even though my own car is not supercharged, we're going to put it in and double check everything's good. Make sure Richard's all happy. It's pouring with rain and I've had enough for the night. I've got a whole lot of files to put into these ECUs once we've sorted them. And then I'm going to test that supercharged one in my own car when it comes back, because Jason got it for the weekend. As a recap, we do lots of stuff, we make them go better. That's good. Alright, this guy has got that ECU, which happens to be Richard's boosted. Come on, Richard. Boosted LS430. We're just testing it. Clearly it's not boosted. Clearly the supercharger isn't fitted. But we want to check that there's no fault codes in it. And so I've got my old LS430 slug workshop hack, and we're going to fire it up and check there's no fault codes. I'm waiting for this just to happen. I'm like, it should just magically happen. I'm still just waiting. Here. Are you just freaking me out and doing it slow? Brum brum. It runs. No check lights. And there's no check lights. Well, I'm glad. So another one tested. We've actually gone through and tested all of the 5-speed ones on this car today. They've all come up good. But we did have an issue with one, and I'll show you the problem with one of them. So this one here, it's a 5-speed. No, it isn't. It's a 6-speeder. It's a 6-speed. It failed the initial inspection. And you see down here, it's had some significant amount of water sitting in that ECU case, which is really common on these on second hands. It's got some corrosion around the board. So I don't even try to flash that. I did, however, just see if I could get any codes and information out of it. I can only get access to the ECU. I can't get access to the ECT, because you access them on the 6-speed through different gateways, let's say. Different ways to get in there. Different software, slightly different program. And I can't get access to the TCU. So that one's going in the rubbish, being replaced with a different one. I also sent the man with the supercharged LS a bit of video this morning for his knock sensor loom. So we're getting that sorted. And so I hope this has all been helpful. Hope you've learned a little bit more about what we can do to the flashing, and there's quite a lot of different functions that we can do and options we can do. So we'll talk to you again soon. Catch you later.